Welcome to the Martha Bassett Show, coming to you from the historic Reeves Theater in Elkin, North Carolina. A home for music in the heart of the foothills. The Martha Bassett Show features national artists, local talent, and the music of Martha Bassett. Tonight on the show, we welcome Yasmin Williams and Joe Newberry. It's a great night with some of the finest music you'll hear. Now let's have a big hand for Martha and the band performing the jazz classic, Route 66.
Well, if you ever plan to motor west, try to take my way. That's the byway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It's the line from Chicago to LA. Only 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, you go to St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks so, so pretty, you'll see. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? When you take that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Mr. Russell Kelly. You go to St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks so, so pretty, you'll see. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? When you take that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now get your kicks on Route 66. Joining our band tonight, this is Mr. Deshaun Hickman, all the way from Mount Airy. I agree. Our first guest tonight is a guitarist of great technical ability, but if you listen with your eyes closed, the beauty and emotion of her music transcends all the flash and the technique. She's been receiving rave reviews in the New York Times and most recently in the Washington Post. She's been featured on NPR's Weekend Edition and All Songs Considered, and also in Acoustic Guitar Magazine and Vintage Guitar Magazine. She's really making a splash right now. Will you please join me in welcoming Yasmin Williams?
Hey, y'all. How's everybody doing? Good? Awesome. Well, yeah, this is my first time in Elkin. I didn't realize how close it was to the Virginia border. It took like 5 hours to drive to Virginia, and then we were here in like 20 minutes later, which was super cool. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. This is a beautiful theater, a beautiful space. And yeah, thank you, Martha, for having me. So the first song was called Juvenescence, and that's on my second record called Urban Driftwood. And this next tune is called Dragonfly, which is on that same record. I hope y'all like it.
We are proud to have Wake Forest Baptist Health as the exclusive healthcare sponsor of the Martha Bassett Show. Through every stage and at every age, Wake Forest Baptist Health is here for you and your family, supporting life, health, and well-being. With more than 300 primary care and specialty locations throughout the region, and a world-class team providing comprehensive care in cancer, orthopedics, cardiovascular health, and more, they're here to serve you. More at wakehealth.edu. Wake Forest Baptist Health. Care for life. Our next artist was most recently written about in a Facebook comment by a guy named Mark saying, "That Martha Bassett, you never know what language she'll sing." Ladies and gentlemen, Martha Bassett.
Well, let's try Portuguese. And just so you know what I'm saying, this song is called Meditation, and it goes something like this. Who believed in love, in the smile, in the flower, thus dreamed, and lost peace. Love, the smile, and the flower, they transformed too quickly. Who in the heart sheltered the sadness of seeing all of this lose itself, and in loneliness sought a road and followed it, already faithless in a happy day? Who cried and cried and cried to the point that all of their tears dried up? Who returned afterwards to love, to the smile, and to the flower, and thus found everything, and the self-same suffering revealed the road of love, and the sadness ended. This is Meditação. Quem acreditou no amor, no sorriso, na flor, então sonhou, sonhou e perdeu a paz. O amor, o sorriso e a flor se transformam depressa demais. Quem no coração abrigou a tristeza de ver tudo isto se perder e na solidão procurou caminho a seguir, já descrente de dia feliz. Quem chorou, chorou e tanto que seu pranto já secou. Quem depois voltou ao amor, a sorriso e a flor, então sonhou, encontrou. Pois a própria dor revelou o caminho do amor e a tristeza acabou. Própria dor revelou o caminho do amor e a tristeza acabou. This is Russell Kelly on guitar. Thank you very much. Will you please welcome back Yasmin Williams? So you are the only guitarist that I know who got their start on guitar playing Guitar Hero.
That's cool.
It is cool. Did you guys know this? How old were you when you...
I was 12 when I first started playing... Well, 11 when I first started playing the game, and 12 when playing
That
guitar.
was my question, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it took you a year to master Guitar Hero, and then you started on the real thing.
I mean, yeah, basically. Probably a little less than a year, because I played every day, all day when I got home from school.
So I understand that your parents bought Guitar Hero for your two older brothers, and
Yeah.
you promptly beat them both
Yes,
severely.
they gave up. We had another video game called Rock Band, which has like a drum kit, a bass guitar, a regular guitar, and vocals. And then they gave up on that too because I just
you're the
hogged
best.
them. Okay, I mean, yeah, but at that point, I'm terrible now. But
So you grew up and live currently in the D.C. area, Northern Virginia.
yeah,
Very good. And I know your dad and your little brother are here with you today.
yeah.
Are they in
where
the
are
room?
they?
Or
Where are, I don't see them. Oh, there they go.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
welcome. And then you went to college at New York University, is that right? And
Yeah.
You, tell us your major.
Yeah, so it's music theory and composition's what I ended up majoring in. I originally went there for music technology, which was basically because I didn't think I could make money as a professional musician, so I thought a theory degree would be kind of useless. I want to say it's useful
that way.
I want to say it's useful now, but it's I don't want to do that. It's useful, but I mean it's not, whatever.
Yeah.
I went to school, I had fun. It was nice.
Theory was one of my favorite classes. I loved it.
Oh, I hated it. No.
You hated it?
Yeah, I couldn't stand theory. Ear training was more my speed.
Yeah. That comes under the umbrella of theory.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but actual theory and, just,
Right.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Well, you, like so many of us and all of the creative folks out there, have had a year to spend at home doing what? What did you do?
Well, I recorded an album. It's probably kind of not probably not what the majority of people did, but that's kind of all I could think of to get through the year relatively intact and with my mind somewhat together, was to just record music and, like, I don't know. It was nice to have a tangible product that I could release out into the world after such a catastrophic year.
Right, absolutely. And you were a solo artist before the quarantine, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
So you were already prepared to
Basically
work on your own.
Yeah, I mean, once shows got canceled and getting over that was kind of rough, but I eventually realized that, well, I have a lot more time. I'm already solo. I don't have to worry about getting a band together or rehearsal space or anything. I'm just in my house. I have to stay here anyway. Might as well just write music and get something recorded. So
can I ask why you decided in the first place to be a solo artist instead of working with a band? Was that a...
Yeah, it was and wasn't a conscious decision. I just prefer doing things solo because dealing with other people requires more patience and... That doesn't sound good, but I mean, like, getting people to want to practice and to come to rehearsals, and that can be rough. And just dealing with different personalities, and when it's just you, and I can do things how I want to do them. Sure, I mean, it can be harder having to lug everything and play multiple instruments, because I don't have a backing band or whatever, but it was worth it to me. So, I mean, yeah, I guess honestly it was more of a conscious decision.
You seem to have adjusted very well to doing it on your own.
Plus, most of my friends weren't really into the music that I was playing anyway. I mean, they liked what I was doing, but they couldn't play with me. So, yeah.
So you are in a genre of music, solo guitar music, which is so predominantly white and male, both in the artists and the audience.
Yeah.
How is that for you? How has that experience been?
It's something that at first I kind of looked at as whatever, I didn't really want to dwell on the fact that I'm a black female guitarist at all when I first started playing shows. I kind of wanted to not hide it, but just ignore it and just play the music I wanted to play, and whoever likes it, it's great. But with the second record, Urban Driftwood, that just came out, I wanted to kind of, I don't know, I realized throughout the pandemic that I do have a different perspective to share because of my lineage and, what my parents listened to when I was little and the music I like. I don't only listen to guitar music, I don't listen to it much, really. And I just think I have a different perspective, something new to bring to just the solo guitar canon, if you will. And that should be celebrated, I think, and I should not ignore that, but instead kind of, just enjoy that I have something different to bring.
Amen. Yes.
Thanks.
Well, will you please share some more of your beautiful music with us?
Of course. Thank you for letting me. Thank you. So, let's get this. This next tune I'm going to play is called On a Friday Night, and it's on my first record, which is called Unwind. I released that in May of 2018, I believe. And in the song, I used this little guitar hammer type of thing, which is kind of like a hammer dulcimer. Does anyone play hammer dulcimer or have seen one? Yeah? Yeah. So this is not a hammer for a hammer dulcimer, but it's kind of does the same thing. I like it because it just gives the guitar kind of a metallic, like, cool sound. And yeah, this one's on a Friday night. Thank y'all. So, speaking of like kind of coming to grips with kind of my musical lineage and like just not being afraid to express the guitar in different ways, I like to use this thumb piano, or well, it's called a kalimba, and put tape on the back and like stick it on my guitar. So I can play kalimba and guitar, and also I have these tap shoes on that I can play at the same time to like do. I mean, I'm a solo guitarist. I have to like make a way, right? Like, I don't. There's nobody here. So, but yeah, that's kind of this is kind of a thing that I've picked up along the way of playing. And this next tune is called Through the Woods, and yeah. Oh, and I got the idea to use the kalimba from the group Earth, Wind, and Fire. I've been a fan of them for a long time, and Maurice White oftentimes played live with the kalimba and like did solos and stuff, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. And I would like to emulate that, but I can't play this correctly, so I'm still trying, but y'all will see what I do with it. gonna pick up my other guitar now. So this very large thing is called a harp guitar, and it's funny because this is actually like a parlor size or a fun size model. I don't have the full size because I cannot play that, but yeah, this is called a harp guitar, and it basically just has 6 sub-bass strings that are super low and 6 regular guitar strings. And this song was released 2 weeks ago, actually, on Amazon Music. So does anyone, if anyone uses Amazon Music, does anyone use Amazon Music for like streaming? Okay, one person. But if you want to check it out, it's an Amazon Music exclusive track. So you can stream it on there, or you can watch the YouTube video, which is, you know, everyone watches YouTube, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you can check it out on there too. This song is called Virga.
The Martha Bassett Show is supported by G&B Energy, family-owned and operated since 1930, and also proud supporters of live music in the Yadkin Valley. Summer is in full swing, and we're all spending a little more time outdoors. G&B Energy has 9 locations with a wide selection of gas lighting, awnings, and outdoor kitchen-quality grills. Everything for the outdoor entertaining oasis. More at gbenergy.com. Support for the Martha Bassett Show also comes from these fine downtown Elkin businesses: the Elk Pharmacy, Yoga on Main, Coley Hall at the Liberty, Angry Troll Brewing, Yadkin Valley Quilts, the Wisdom Table, and Fruition, Elkin's favorite spot for cocktails.
If you are from North Carolina, you are probably already familiar with our next guest. He's a renowned clawhammer banjo player, as well as being a guitarist, singer, and writer of beautiful songs. He was a featured singer on the Transatlantic Sessions tour of the UK in 2016, and he's had multiple performances on Prairie Home Companion. Will you please join me in welcoming Mr. Joe Newberry?
Hello, everybody. Before we go on, I just have to say I've been around a lot of guitar players in my life, but never have I been around somebody as playing as beautiful as Yasmin Williams. How about another hand for Yasmin? We've got this fine band. I'm going to do a song that I wrote called Missouri Borderland, and it's a song about what happens to you sometimes even with the best of good intentions. I'm far away from home, with neither family nor friends. I never meant to stay so long in the Missouri borderland. 3 years ago, I held a job. I saw the world from my pony's sway, riding drag on a dusty mud. I knew I'd worked when I drew my pay. But times got hard, Lord, times got mean. I fell in with desperate men. And one night, the worst of them laid out what was an awful plan. Did not like such wicked talk of murder and bold robbery. I told those men that I would walk, but they all aimed their guns at me. Their prisoner I did help rob a bank, and much gold we did attain. They shot a boy just for the sport. I stood and watched his young life wane. Such dreadful sounds I've never heard. His mother's wailing filled the room. She looked at me, she spat these words: the devil take you to your doom. Turned to face that murderous crew. I shot them dead. I killed all four. And the only thing I rue, I did not think of that before. The posse found me outside the town as I was kneeling down to pray. From a gallows high I will lay down into a dark Missouri grave. Oh, hide the rope stains around my neck when my mother sees me dead. And please don't let my brothers take the fateful path that I chose to tread. I am far away from home, with neither family nor friends. I never meant to stay so long in the Missouri borderland. And now I'll spend eternity in the Missouri borderland.
Mr. Joe Newberry.
Yes, Ms. Martha Bassett.
So I understand the song that you just did was covered beautifully by Mandolin Orange.
Yes, and they've now changed their name to Watch House. So
I
we
heard
should all
that.
watch out for Watch House.
Watch out for Watch House.
You know, actually, when I tour with that song now, Mandolin Orange Watch House did such a beautiful job that I've turned it into an a cappella ballad because I didn't want to do a cover version of my own song.
And you are from Missouri originally, correct?
Yes, you can always tell a Missourian. You can't tell them much, but you can always tell a Missourian.
Well, when and why did you move to North Carolina?
I moved to North Carolina when I was in my early 20s. My mother had passed away, and I sort of hung with my dad for a few months, and then I decided to go walkabout a little bit, and I took my little 1972 Capri, barely made it over the gap there from Tennessee to North Carolina, and I got here, and I had a bunch of friends who played music here, and I wish I had a more inspiring tale of my life, Martha, but my car broke down, and I stayed. That's it. You know, when you're in your early 20s, you can make a life pretty quick, and I made a lot of friends, and got married, started a family, and I tell people I'm not from North Carolina, but I got here as quick as I could. And it's been almost 40 years, so hopefully I'm grandfathered in by now.
Absolutely. You're ours. So many of your songs have a theme of family, and I understand that your family is very musical.
I grew up in a musical family. The old Ozark songs is what I grew up singing, and I started playing guitar and later banjo to try and accompany my family. My first song, I come from a family that loves the way poetry and words roll around in our mouths, and my first song I ever wrote was a blatant ripoff of the Kingston Trio. I was 5, and it was called Hang Down Your Head, Bugs Bunny.
So you were already playing banjo before you moved to North Carolina?
I did play banjo before I came to North Carolina. But
was it a clawhammer style?
It's clawhammer style. Missouri, it's more of it's a big fiddle tradition, but it's more guitar and piano. And I asked the James River fiddler Art Galbraith one time. I was so wet behind my ears. I went up and said, "Mr. Galbraith, what kind of banjo playing do you like?" And he said, "Quiet." But I got out to North Carolina, And actually, even before I came, I had one of those life-changing moments. You know, some people can chart when their life changes, and this is one of mine. A friend of mine brought back a tape that he had made on a pilgrimage he made to Mount Airy and up into the Blue Ridge in Southwest Virginia, and he recorded what basically I realized later were all of my heroes and all the people that I eventually came to go and bug and sit on their front porch and play music with. The one that I never got the chance to meet, he was gone a year before I got here, was named Fred Cockerham. And Fred, he did a version of Reuben where he started out finger picking, and then the moment that my life changed, and I said, I have to have this, I have to know what this is when he went from finger picking to clawhammer. And I was going to do a little bit of that just to show you sort of what that was like before, if that would be okay.
That would be wonderful. I would love that. And before I leave the stage, I just want to say happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's 3 days past. My birthday was Monday. I was on the road, and actually it was kind of nice because it was my Beatle birthday. Apparently people still need me and will still feed me. I just turned 64. Aww. Yeah. So I'm listening to this tape that my friend brought back, and it was on one of those, I guess, those high-quality Radio Shack cassette players, the kind where you turn with the pencil to get it started. And out of that came this. I thought, that sounds cool. And then he started to play frailing or overhand or clawhammer or rapping the banjo. Caused me to weep and she caused me to moan and she caused me to leave my good old home. My woman says so, I will moonshine no more, I will chop up my still and I'll go home. Woman says so, I will moonshine no more, I'll sidetrack that train, I'll move on.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes, ma'am.
So we've got one more song before intermission, and I believe the Gibson brothers with Ricky Skaggs won the IBMA Best Gospel Recorded Performance in 2012 with this song of yours.
It's called Singing as We Rise. I wrote it at the world's most aptly named music camp in Cornwall, in the Cotswolds in England. The camp is called Sore Fingers. They work you like a damn government mule. You teach about 6 hours a day, and you do workshops and concerts. And I tell you, Martha, by the time Thursday rolls around, there's a fluency. You know how it is when you play all the time? This song started because I was walking to breakfast, and a friend of mine said, "Did you hear those larks this morning? They were singing as they rose." And I like that. So I did what we call in the business a mother, father, brother song, mother, father, sister song. Similar sentiment with the different people up in heaven. And I love people singing and playing this song. The coolest thing ever was I got an email out of the blue. "Dear Mr. Newberry, I'm the preacher in a little town in Missouri that you've never heard of, and I want to do your song Singing As We Rise in my church." And he said, "Malden First Presbyterian Church." That was my home church. I left that church and moved when I was 14. And he didn't know I went there. He just liked that Gibson Brothers song.
Wow.
So I wrote him right back and said, "Pastor, if you look in that third pew on the left, that's where everybody in this song sat. And so we'll do it for..."
That's amazing.
Yeah. In the third verse, my late sister was a pastor, and when I sing "Sister is preaching as she rises," you better believe it. Up on the mountain, Mother is singing, laughing and shouting, her sweet voice is ringing. Pay no mind to dark and stormy skies, my mother is singing, singing as we rise.
Singing as we rise, singing as we rise, singing as we rise, singing as we rise.
Headed to the pinnacle, singing as we rise. Up on the mountain, my Father is working his obligations while he's never shirking. Pay no mind to dark and stormy skies. My Father is working, working as we rise. 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 Headed to the pinnacle. Working as we rise. Yeah. Yeah. Well, up on the mountain, my sister is preaching a wonderful message. It's powerful teaching. Pay no mind to dark and stormy skies. My sister is preaching, preaching as we rise. 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 Headed to the pinnacle. Preaching as we rise. Come on, Sean.
folks, it is intermission time. I hope you will go refresh your drinks, check out the merch table, and we'll see you back here in just a few minutes.
Welcome back to the second half of the Martha Bassett Show featuring Joe Newberry and Yasmin Williams. Remember, you can listen to us weekly on 88.5 WFDD, follow the entire schedule, listen to past radio shows, and subscribe to our podcast at marthabassettshow.com. Our next show is in 2 weeks on September 2nd, and we'll feature Carrie Elkin and Danny Schmidt, the old-time band Gap Civil from Sparta, and Drake Duffer. Now, let's start off the second half with Martha Bassett.
Thank you. Since our last show, the world has lost a beloved singer and songwriter, Nancy Griffith. And this song is one of hers.
Trains roll by our silos, silver in the rain. They leave our pockets full of nothing but our dreams and the golden grain. Have you seen the folks in line downtown at the station? They're all buying their ticket out and they're talking the Great Depression. Our parents had their hard times 50 years ago when they stood out in these empty fields in dust as deep as snow. And all this trouble in our fields, if this rain could fall, these wounds could heal. They'll never take our native soil. But if we sell that new John Deere, then we'll work these crops with sweat and tears. You'll be the mule, I'll be the plow. Come harvest time, we'll work it out. There's still a lot of love here in these troubled fields. There's a book up on the shelf about the Dust Bowl days, and there's a little bit of you and a little bit of me in the photos on every page. Now our children live in the city and they rest upon our shoulders. They never want the rain to fall or the weather to get colder. And all this trouble in our fields, if this rain could fall, these wounds could heal. They'll never take our native soil. But if we sell that new John Deere, then we'll work these crops with sweat and tears. You'll be the mule, I'll be the plow. Harvest time, we'll work it out. There's still a lot of love here in these troubled fields. You'll be the mule, I'll be the plow. Come harvest time, we'll work it out. There's still a lot of love here in these troubled fields.
Thank you, and thank you, Joe Newberry. to talk a little more with some of these other folks on stage. This is your first time meeting Deshawn here on our show. Will you tell us a little bit about yourselves? You're from Mount Airy, and I met you working with Laurel and Dossett. I know you have worked with her quite a bit.
Yeah. For quite a while now.
For quite a while now.
About the past 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, been playing with her. Been a real treat. But yes, that night was fun that we had down in Danbury.
Yes, we played a show together in Danbury that Laurelyn put together.
Yeah.
And you're playing the pedal steel. How long have you played this instrument? How did you fall into this world of pedal steel playing?
I started playing pedal steel about the age of 12. I started out on lap steel when I was 5.
Wow.
And my mom actually taught me how to play lap steel. She played for quite a while. It's a more common instrument in our church that I grew up in, where most churches have keyboards and organs and stuff like that. The main instrument in that church was pedal steel.
Man, I wish that was the main instrument in my church.
Yeah. So that's where I learned how to play. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's beautiful. We're so excited to have you tonight.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for
I
having
hope
me.
it's the first of many times.
Yes, ma'am. Hopefully.
Deshawn Hickman. And I'd like to talk to Fiona Burdett a little bit. You guys have been seeing Fiona on the show since the beginning of the show. This is not her last show with us, but it's the next to last for a while because she is leaving us to go to graduate school. So where are you going, Fiona?
Yeah, so I got the Fulbright scholarship to study and do research at Humboldt University in Berlin, Germany. So I'm leaving to go there in September.
We're very proud of you.
Thanks.
And going to miss her so much. I will be pestering her by email pretty regularly to find out when she'll be back in town so that she can come back and see us anytime that she is. But as many of you know, I've known Fiona since she was about 18 months old when she came to my preschool music class at the community music school for School of the Arts. And I've just so enjoyed watching her grow up and become such a talented musician and such a lovely person. And I know that this isn't your last show, but I'm just preparing myself so that I don't get too teary next time.
Thanks, yeah.
So, Fiona Burdett. All right, I'm going to invite back out Miss Yasmin Williams. So I know you've told these folks about your harp guitar. Everything that you do is just so different from what most guitar players do. So I'm wondering if you folks in the audience have any questions for her. And you can think about it a little bit. We'll talk. I knew I threw that at you. No pressure. Can you tell me a little bit about your compositional process? Because your songs are not, they don't adhere to a strict form.
Yeah.
And you're creating a mood and a feeling.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of the time, I kind of think of songwriting like doing a puzzle. So I might create like a 30-second or a minute-long like snippet of something and record it or write it on sheet music or whatever, and kind of loop it in my mind or play it over and over again, and then maybe a couple months later, I'll come up with another 30-second thing and like fit that together with the last thing and like make another thing and fit it together or not. Sometimes I can use things from like a couple years ago and like finally find like something that it fits in and fit. It's just like fitting things together, basically, is most of the time how I write songs. I rarely write things like in a continuous like session or like one or two sittings. That just doesn't happen.
Do
I
you
wish
write
it
them
did.
down?
Yeah, I'm starting to just write things down on sheet music since it's a lot better than having 2 million voice memos on my phone. I can't keep track of that, like number 8,000, like, I don't know. So yeah, writing things down and giving things like little titles and stuff like that is way easier. I'm starting to do that.
I see that you are using some pedals here. You have tap shoes on. You're tapping
There's a lot
your guitar.
happening, yeah.
There's a lot happening, and I'm wondering if you decide what method you're going to use, or even which instrument you're going to use before you start the process of writing, or?
No, I don't know. Most of the time I just pick up something. I mean, I have, I think, maybe 11 or 12 guitars at home, and banjo and kora and other instruments, and I just kind of pick up something just to practice and see what happens, basically.
Are these mostly acoustic guitars that you're playing?
Yeah, I'm starting to play electric more often now, though. Just, I guess because I'm bored maybe with acoustic. But yeah, most of the time it's still acoustic guitar. I have several of those at home.
I know that there are other guitar players in the audience, so if anybody has a question.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
I don't bite. There you go.
He said that playing on your lap with your left hand reminds him of mountain dulcimer.
Yeah. That's a really cool connection. I have no experience. I've seen people play it, and I've often thought I should give it a try, but I don't know, maybe I should. I don't know. But no, it's just a coincidence. Yeah, but thanks for giving me that thought.
Anyone else?
Cool.
All right, we'll go into another song. Oh, yes. I can't see you, so you...
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that you're not using standard tuning.
Absolutely not. I'm not.
Is there one particular tuning that you like the most that you stay with, or is it all different?
Yeah, so I really like open D, just D, A, D, F sharp, A, D tuning a lot. That's what I mainly use. At this point, I don't really know what standard tuning is. I don't acknowledge it. I don't do that. It's been about 10 years since I've really played in standard tuning. I can, it's just not what I'm comfortable writing music in for some reason. I don't know. I just like open chords and usually major chords. Yeah, but open D is my go-to for sure.
That's a good question. I meant to ask that myself.
No. So I started playing electric guitar regularly. Like, do you know the guys who play super fast? I wanted to be like them, like yeah, like Buckethead and Paul, whoever. And I can't do that, so I gave up on that, and eventually found out that if I put it flat on my lap with an acoustic guitar, I can kind of achieve a similar speed and efficiency, and just play how I want to play. So, yeah, but that was a couple years in.
Anyone else? Okay, this next song is a cover from the Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah, Post Malone.
Post Malone, called Sunflower. And I will leave the stage and let you guys play this. By the way, my son Nick, who is running the camera, said, "Hey, this is the first time on your show that somebody's played a song that I already knew."
Yes.
Sorry, Nick.
That's dope. I mean, I feel like rap's probably not played a lot here. There we go.
Well, we're going to have Yasmin play a couple more songs for us, if that's all right with you.
Is that cool? So I have another kalimba that I'm going to take out right now. So this kalimba is the first one that I actually got, and a funny story behind it. So I got it in New York during college at a guitar center because, well, I walked in and like randomly drifted into the percussion section. And I saw this, and it didn't have a price tag on it. So I asked the sales guy, like, how much is this? And he's like, oh, is there a price tag on it? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, let me see how much they usually go for. And I was like, well, can it be free? And he was like, yeah. I was like, awesome. I was like a poor college kid. I didn't really want to spend any money on it if I didn't have to. So thanks to that guy. And I've had it ever since. It's been, I don't know, like maybe since 2015 or so. So a while. And this is the first song I wrote using a kalimba, and it's called Gitka. Thank y'all so much. Well, thank y'all again for the warm welcome here. For this being my first time here, this is like the best first time ever. Seriously, thank y'all so much. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the tune. I have one more for you, if that's cool. This last one's called Restless Heart.
We'd like to welcome Life Store Insurance, our most recently added sponsor. They have 7 locations, with one located right here in downtown Elkin. Life Store Insurance, your North Carolina insurance specialist. And remember, when you come to visit us, make sure you stop by the shops at 150 East Market Street, where you'll find Dirty Joe's Coffee, the Smoothie Station, Gwinnett Market Mercantile, and the Barkery, home of Melissa's all-natural pet treats. The shops at 150 East Market Street, where you're sure to find something for everyone. Now let's get back to the show and give a big hand to Joe Newberry.
I wrote this song about my mother in heaven. I had a good one. So I'll sing it for you if your mother's in heaven or if she's down here. It's called I Know Whose Tears Would Come Down to Me. If I were hanged on the highest hill, if I were hanged on the highest hill, if I were hanged on the highest hill, I know whose love would soothe me still. If I were slain in a foreign land, if I were slain in a foreign land, if I were slain in a foreign land, I know whose touch would take my hand. Mother, my first companion, mother, my truest friend, mother, way up in heaven, we'll meet again. If I were killed in the battle strife, if I were killed in the battle strife, if I were killed in the battle strife, I know whose cries would mourn my life. If I were drowned in the salt sea, if I were drowned in the salt sea, if I were drowned in the salt sea, I know whose tears would come down to me. Mother, my first companion, my truest friend, mother, way up in heaven, we'll meet. I were dead in the cause of right, if I were dead in the cause of right, I know whose lamp would pierce the night. If I were dead, both body and soul, if I were body and soul, if I were dead, both body and soul, I know whose prayers, sweet prayers, would make me whole. Mother, my first companion, mother, she's my truest friend, mother, way up in we'll meet again. Oh, mother, my first companion, mother, my truest friend, mother, way up in heaven,
Joe Newberry.
I love that note that you sang on it.
Thank you.
It kind of made me go like this.
Well, I realized when I was talking to Deshaun a moment ago that I also met you through Laurel and Basset.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
thank you to
Absolutely.
Laurel for introducing me to some great musicians. You have served as a teacher in many festivals and camps around the world.
A high honor, yes.
It is a high honor. The Augusta Festival in West Virginia is in the neck of the woods where I grew up, and I know that one is a really big deal, and you've been very involved in that festival for a long time, am I right?
I started teaching at the Augusta Heritage Center in Elkin, West Virginia in 1993, and pretty much every year, or most every year, I've been there. I trained as a teacher, and then my youngest kid came along, and I decided to be a stay-at-home dad, and so teaching at these camps, I love taking what I learned to do and love to do. I love being the Rosetta Stone for a student. Every student has their own Rosetta Stone, and you never know what it's going to be, and you don't know until you're talking to them. So.
Wow. Well, I understand you're also a board member of IBMA.
I am, the International Bluegrass Music Association, and we're getting ready to have our conference in Raleigh, September 28th through October 2nd.
Very good. That's a big festival as well.
It is.
A lot of great music there.
Lots of moving parts.
Yes.
Especially these days.
Oh, yeah, especially.
Yes, ma'am. I would love to sing this with you, and it's funny, Pat, when we were putting together the program, he said, well, what do you hear on it? And I wrote this song, Baby I'm Blue. The first verse dropped down in my head all at once. I was waiting in line to buy stamps for my Christmas cards. And it just dropped down in my head, and so I turned over one of the envelopes and wrote it down on the back. So somebody that year did not get a Christmas card. And Pat, if it was you, I'm sorry. But when Pat and Martha and I were talking about this song, he said, well, what do you hear on it? And I said, I wrote it with guitar and bass doing the lead line. And I said, would you play it with me? And he said, yes. And I said, would you come out toward the footlights? And again, he said, yes. So please make welcome Pat up front for once. I wrote this to honor my mother, who loved the Mills Brothers more than almost anything. Before you, blue was a color so splendid. I slept the night through. Blue was just something the wind did. I lost you. That's something I never intended to do. Baby, I'm blue. Before you blew through my life like a trade wind. Oh, blue, blue was the mark of a true friend. When I lost you, I learned how much I depended. I depended on you. Baby, I'm blue. before you blew out a spark that was kindred. Who knew that kind of love could have ended? My heart has a tear that will never be mended, at least not by you. Baby, I'm blue before you. Blue was a color so splendid, yeah. I slept the night through. Blue was just something the wind did. I lost you, and that is something I never intended, for I depended on you. Baby, I'm blue. Oh, it's sad, but it's true. I'm lost without you. Baby, I'm blue.
Mr. Joe Newberry.
Martha Bassett. All right. Play a couple. All right. All right, so it's your choice. Do you want to hear something peppy or do you want to hear something creepy from West Virginia? All right. I pegged y'all the minute you walked in. One of the things about this kind of music is the people that you meet and the people you learn from. This is from Lester and Linda McCumbers. It's a fiddle tune, but people sing it too. Called the Cherry River Line. The Cherry River Line is that temporary line that they would put up to the top of the mountains when they were cutting timber. It's lonesome here, it's lonesome all the time, lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. There's a girl on yonder mountain beneath the spreading pine. I told her that I loved her, and I hoped that she'd be mine. It's lonesome here, it's lonesome all the time, lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. I saw my Lula gal, she had a dram glass in her hand. She was drinking down her troubles with another man. So I told my Lula gal, you go and do the best you can. I'll get another woman like you got another man. It is lonesome here, it's lonesome all the time, lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. The train that she rides runs mighty slow. At night I can hear the lonesome whistle blow. Someday I may forget you, you won't be on my mind, but I never will forget the Cherry River line. It is lonesome here, lonesome all the time, lonesome down here on the Cherry River line. I'll do one more, and it seems like train night tonight. I heard a train going by earlier. You know, when you write songs, you never know where they're going to land. Like that one came to me in the post office. When you write songs, you got to keep an ear out for a good phrase. And my friend Bob was sitting with Doc Watson, our beloved Doc Watson. Everybody, Doc Watson. And Doc was sitting backstage, waiting to go on. He was in the green room. And once Doc sort of got set where he was, he didn't move until it was time to go on stage. And my friend Bob said, Doc, how you doing? Doc said, well, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. And then he said, I tell you, I'm too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. I mean, how can you not write a song after that? And how can you not start a song, a train song? I sort of think you have to, really. When I was a young man and I was in my prime, I worked on the Katy and the good old Mopac line. I started as a brakeman, buddy, life was fine. But I'm looking in the rear view, all I see is time. I'm too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. Started making railroad green a long, long time ago. And whether it's a fast train or a freight winding slow, I'm too old to drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. I worked up to conductor, we would ride all night. Finally get a little sleep just before daylight. Once we sidetracked at a whistle stop to get a little bite. A pretty gal who served the beans became my heart's delight. I am too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. Started making railroad green a long, long time ago. And whether it's a highball or a freight winding slow, I'm too old to drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. Crescent serves New Orleans, Southern serves the South. I'm an engineer for words that felt good in my mouth. I started at the end of steam, but I learned the diesel's worth. I've railroaded long enough to go 10 times around the earth. I'm too old to drive this train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. started making railroad green a long, long time ago. Whether it's a highball or a freight winding slow. I'm too old to drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. Now I have a gold watch with my name inscribed within. Feels like I just started, but I know I'm near the end. You might not want to hear it. Here it is, my friend. Your bones will rattle with the clickety-clack, on that you can depend. I am too old to drive the train, but I still love to hear the whistle blow. Started making railroad green a long, long time ago. And whether it's a highball or a freight winding slow, I'm too old to drive the train, but I love to hear the whistle blow. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we have a couple more songs, and we're going to bring out the full cast for these. So this first one is one of yours.
Me?
Yeah.
You know, I know that at the break you went out and you saw some CDs. One of the things, sometimes we don't go out, sometimes we do, but one of the things that I love doing is talking to folks at break, because you never know what they are going to say, ever. And a lady came up to me at the break and she went, this is how she started her conversation with me. I said, ma'am? And she went, can you not write a fun song? I got a little pouty about it. I said, I guess. I think I'd sung a bunch about my sweet relatives in heaven. So anyway, this is my attempt at a fun song. It's called The Darker the Night, the Better I See. I've honky-tonk most all of my life. My day begins at the edge of the night. I stay up late, that don't bother me, because the darker the night, the better I see. Oh, the lights I love are the lights of town. I thank the Lord above when the sun goes down. Find a shady spot, that's where I'll be. Oh, the darker the night, the better I see. About 3 chords, but I'll guarantee you won't be bored. It starts getting good around 2:45. Oh, the darker the night, the better I see. Oh, the lights I love sun goes down. Find a shady spot, that's where I'll be. Oh, the darker the night, break of the day. What some call work, I call play. I once was blind, now I'm free. The darker the night, darker the night, the better I see. Oh, the lights I love, how the lights of town. I thank the Lord above when the sun goes down. Find a shady spot, that's where I'll be. Oh, the darker the night, the darker the night, the better I see. You heard me right, the darker the night, the better I see. Ain't I a sight, the darker the night, the better I see.
We are so grateful that you came to spend the evening with us, and grateful to all of you who are watching by live stream. Thank you so much. And I just want to give a big thank you to our guests tonight. Yasmin, Joe, it's been such an honor to share the stage with you. Really, we had so much fun today putting all of this together. The collaboration just happened so naturally, and everybody was just so generous with their talents, and it's just been a really fun day, and I can't wait to play with both of you again. So we're going to end with a Bob Dylan tune. Ooh, and Joe's switching over to banjo. Wonderful.
'Twas in another lifetime, one of toil and blood, when blackness was a virtue and the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Not a word was spoke between us, there was little risk involved. Everything up to that point had been left unresolved. Try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Suddenly I turned around and she was standing there, with silver bracelets on her wrist and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. There's a wall between us, something there's been lost. I took too much for granted, I got my signals crossed. Just to think that it all began on an uneventful morn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, the deputy walks on hard nails and the preacher rides a mount. But nothing really matters much, it's doom alone that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows a futile horn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Hilltop village, they gambled for my clothes. I bargained for salvation and she gave me a lethal got repaid with scorn. Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm. Well, I'm living in a foreign country, but I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks a razor's edge, someday I'll make it mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God and her were born. Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for tuning in and to our beautiful live audience. Let's hear it for Yasmin Williams, Joe Newberry, our special guest Deshaun Hickman, and Martha Bassett. The band tonight was Russell Kelly, Deshaun Hickman, Fiona Burdette, and me, Pat Lawrence. Our interstitial music tonight was composed by Russell Kelly. A big thanks to the Reeves Theater and staff in the beautiful town of Elkin. Jeff Irving and Doug Williams of Electromagnetic Recorders handled the sound, and Ben Singer and Nick Bassett provided our video broadcast. And our Haveluck Solar merch. Come back and join us. It's the Martha Bassett Show. Good music for good people. Thank you so much for joining us. Drive safe and have a good evening.